So we're going to go from getting a map from Google Earth and putting it into AutoCAD, scaling it, and then you can start drawing to scale your design. So when you get an AutoCAD, you're just going to zoom in on the place that you're interested in designing on, and what I do is I get the scale that's down here to be something that's even. So right now I have it at 425. Try to get 400, so I just play around with the scale over here until I'll get it to where it says 600 actually. So I'll play around 600, it's about right there. So now I have a scale that says 600, and now I just go and click snip. I'll go and snip the whole area that I want. I'm not going to save it this time. I'm just going to click exit. Go into AutoCAD. I'm going to go right click, Clipboard Paste, and there is my image from Google Earth. Now in Google Earth I got to make sure that between this line, actually I need to do that one more time because I didn't get the let's go and snip that one more time. You got to make sure when you snip it that you get the scale within it. So I have to make sure I get the scale within it here, so that when in AutoCAD I have a scale to scale to. And now right click, Clipboard Paste, there's my image. Now I'm going to go to annotate on the top, click dimension, go to aligned. I'm going to go and click from the edge of the scale to the other edge. I'm going to put on ortho, and I'm going to go and end it right at the edge of where the scale bar is. And I'm going to click the dimension that came up. The dimension shows that it's set 9,976 feet long. So what I'm going to do is, I know that I want it to be 600 feet, so we need to make it smaller. So we need to go 1976 and 10 inches. So 0.8. Let's see, I think 10 is 0.8. Let me go 10 divided by 12. Yeah, it's 0.833. So I'm going to put 1976.833, and I'm going to divide that by what it should be, 600 feet. And that comes out to be, oops, I went backwards. I'm supposed to divide 600 feet by 1976.833. So I need to shrink this image, this whole image, by 0.3. So I'm going to type SC in the command line down here, click enter. It wants me to select the best base point. So the base point, I'm going to click my snap, go to settings. I'm going to put the midpoint and add point, click those on, click OK, and then I'm also going to click on object snap tracking. So I'm going to go from the midpoint of the image to this point, midpoint, and where they cross, I'm going to click that because that's where I want it to scale from. So once again, let me do that again. It's a little bit closer. SC, enter. The base point I want to be from, I want to get the midpoint here, go up to where it gives me a green line, go to this midpoint, green line, where it crosses, that's where I want to click. So you can see the green lines, and hopefully you can click the green, or the middle. The scale factor, I need it to be 0.3035. So I'm going to enter 0.3035. Enter. So it's now scaled. It should read. Now when I measure this, I'm going to click dimension, and I'm going to go from the end of the scale bar to the end of the scale bar, and our dimension now is 599.99. That's pretty dang close. This image is now scaled, so I can just start designing on it. So now if I go and I start drawing a line let's say I want to build a fence all the way around. I'll enter PL for polyline, enter. I'll click from this point. I'm going to end my first fence line here. Then I want to end a fence line here. Click enter. Now I can measure this line and see how much fence I want. I could either do it individually by clicking dimension and clicking endpoint to endpoint, and I have a dimension there of 1,017 feet, or I can go and I can click the line itself and type LIST, and I'll get a little printout of what the total length of both those lines together comes out, 2,250 feet. So that's how I do that. One thing that I'm working in model space. You should be doing all your work in model space. Let's say I want this image to go into my paper space. Let's say my general layout, I want that image to show up here. For you to be able to see what's in model space and paper space, you have to create a viewport, and you do that by typing in M view. So M is in monkey, V I E W, and click enter. I'm entering that in the command prompt, and then you create a box within your template here, but I'm just going to do one on the outside so you can see. I'm going to create a viewport. I'm just going to click one end of where I want the viewport to begin and end, and there's my viewport. Everything that is in model space, we'll go back to model and we'll type in ZE for zoom extents. That all this stuff that's in model, I can now see in paper space. It's right here. So to activate model space within paper space, you have to double click the viewport that you created, and then we want to zoom in on the image that we just scaled so we can start designing. And the beauty about this is that you can now scale it with here, and you can make 1 inch equal 500 feet. You can make 1 inch equal 100 feet. I just go to the scale that makes it work the best, and we're gonna go to 175. That looks like a pretty good scale. And so once you have it to scale within the active viewport, you don't want this to zoom in and zoom out no more while you're drawing, so you're going to lock it. You're going to click lock, unlock viewport. And now if I zoom in or zoom out while the viewport is activated, and you know it's activated by seeing the dashed lines around the viewport, it's not going to move in and move out. So I can just start drawing if I wanted to right now. And that's pretty much it on bringing in images and scaling them to fit. That's essentially what I did over here in this design. Was this image I brought from ArcMap, I scaled it, and then I started to draw. In this case I'm drawing a pivot, and everything that I draw is to scale, so I know that I'm drawing correctly, designing correctly. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have one more thing I will make known to you guys. If you ever get to a point where you're measuring something and you're getting a value of that is not correct, this is why. Let me create a line right here. I'm going to make this line 1 foot. Enter. So PL, enter, 1 foot, enter. Oops, come on. PL, 1, enter. Escape. Where's my dang point? Oh, it's black. So I can't see my point because it's my line, because it's a black line. So if you ever need to change your background to white, you're gonna right click on your command line, options, you're gonna go to drafting, you're gonna go to colors, you're gonna go to uniform background, black, you're gonna change it to white, you're gonna apply and close, and now you can see my line that I created. It's right there. So I'm gonna measure that line, And let's see what it comes out to be. I want to go to dimension. I'm going to click one endpoint and click the other endpoint, and it's telling me that that is 12.0, and that's it. Wow, that doesn't help me. What, 12 what? 12 inches, 12 feet. To be able to show up 12 inches, you're going to type in the command DDIM. You're going to go click modify. You're going to go to primary units. Change it to engineering, from decimal to engineering. That's the problem. And then make sure your scale factor is 12. And then click OK. Set current, close. And now it says it's 1 foot. That's what I want it to read. So that's how you do that. If you have any questions regarding what we went over, just give me a call.